going through the gates and we are entering what I think is the Miami Seaquarium area.
Is that where we went before and we accidentally went there?
We have never been to the Miami Seaquarium. There is a protest outside the Miami Seaquarium to protest the whale, the orca that is in captivity at the Miami Seaquarium. Phil Damaris is going to be there. And for those of you who may not know Phil Damaris, the Walrus Whisperer, engaged in a 10-year-long, give or take, battle with Marineland in order to free Smushy the walrus. He has finally seen some form of success of that 10 years of lawfare after being sued, dragged through the court systems. They finally arranged something of a settlement where Smushy the walrus and her calf have been moved to a new aquarium in Abu Dhabi. Success, happy ending to that story. Phil now is down to protest at the Miami Seaquarium because they have an orca in captivity named Lolita. I've come down to document the protest. I'll show you some B-roll as we came over the bridge. It's on a beautiful location. It just so happens that there's a massively intelligent creature, orca whale, in captivity, not on display to the public, in squalor, horrible conditions, isolation, and there is apparently a protest here from 11 to 2, so we'll see what happens. Are you the tent guy that I'm supposed to ask to direct me to Phil Damaris?
Hey Viva.
Oh, good. I know
you.
you. Do you mind being in video?
No, I don't mind.
Alrighty. What's the plan for today?
We're gonna protest whale captivity and party a little bit and have a good time. My name's Daniel Depew and part of the Urgencies team, and we're here to try to get this whale out of the crappy conditions.
And so you're gonna set up in front here.
Yep.
And then do what?
We're gonna hand out brochures and stickers to all who want it. Try and encourage people to maybe turn around and rethink their decision.
Parking lot is actually surprisingly empty, but it's barely 11 o'clock, although it is, what day is it today? Saturday. 11 o'clock on a Saturday. Parking lot is pretty empty and all empty over there, but maybe it's not prime time for aquarium time? What do you think? It appears as though we have documentarians here as well. He's got his DSLR on a massive back-mounted gimbal. I do not know what that is. Oh, they have that's a Canon. You can tell by the lens in her hand. All right, I don't know if they're here to document the protests or just making a vlog of the Miami Seaquarium. All right, let's do it. I think that's them. I don't know how many people would be blowing up a giant inflatable orca. Alrighty, we're gonna get the POV intro handshake. Sir, hold on. I'm sweaty and disgusting already.
So
How you
happy
doing?
to see you. I gotta give you a hug, man.
Always. What's going on here?
Okay, so a week ago we held an event to commemorate the death of Kiska and Marineland of Canada, and in honor of, we purchased this massive orca, which my cat promptly jumped on.
I know. I see it. I see a repair right there.
Scarred up and stuff, but you know. And essentially we're gonna sticker clad it and we're gonna bring it over there. I've spent the last few days, weeks if you will, poking the CEO of the Miami Seaquarium, Eduardo Albor. And this is just another like, hey, you can't miss us, right? So what's going on, my bro? Yeah,
Okay, I think
that
it's it.
stadium, the Whale Bowl. That was a building that was condemned by Miami-Dade a little over a year ago as like this. It cannot be it cannot be used in any capacity whatsoever for any business endeavor. And so the whale that's remaining in there is off public display. So we're here to advocate for her. That thing get knocked down any given day. Right now everyone's trying to be a hero. They're all like, oh, we want to save her, oh, we want to save her. In the meantime, the real time crime that's happening is she's cooking in that fucking bowl. No one being held accountable. This is a tragedy beyond what I can truly express to any conscious being. But you only have to understand that if you can relate to Lolita especially, then you can't unsee once you see this stuff. And again, I urge people, go to Urgencies. We don't have a website, but go to all the social medias and check out the videos, and it'll make you sick, man. And this is a crime that I'm obviously passionate for. I used to work at Marineland for 12 years, whistleblower, advocated for and successfully passed Bill S-203, which is a law that bans captivity of whales, porpoises, and dolphins in all of Canada. I'd like to bring that, frankly, to the state to Florida. I feel like this is a localized issue here that's exceptionally egregious in this state. And I just feel like this is a cross-platform supported issue. This isn't politically. I don't know anyone who supports this anymore. I just don't. Okay, right here. We're gonna put it on the other side, though. I want to put it over the duct tape.
Oh, isn't the big discount on the other side?
No, there's nothing there.
What's the door somewhere?
I was
on the
trying to go
property.
into the buy a ticket, go in.
Yeah, he advised me that he denied it. I don't know
Yeah,
what
he did.
transaction
He didn't like my
happened.
hat, so I said okay, and I just walked away.
So, but he said, no, so that means
Very interesting development. One of the members of the group organizing this protest tried to get tickets to get in and was denied entry. And then what I just recorded was the policeman advising them that they are trespassing if they go back onto the property. And that's interesting. And just so everybody knows, the policewoman was cognizant that she was being recorded and had no problem with it. Or
Oh, she's
lawfully
very
she
kind,
can't.
by the way. I've interacted with her a number of times. She took some Fuck My Seaquarium stickers home. She's great. She's always very courteous. We always have a great exchange. I have nothing but respect for law enforcement. We're always abiding by the law entirely, or until they ask us not to. But we're not engaging in anything stupid ever.
Well, we're gonna see if I can.
Good luck getting in, I wonder. So good
We'll
luck.
find out. We're gonna actually go into the Seaquarium. This was not part of the plan for the day because I actually don't like sad, depressing zoos with higher order animals that are not happy in captivity. But Phil Damaris said do it and see just how bad it is. I have forewarned my kid that this is not gonna be an inspiring aquarium for the higher order animals. Sure, they have nice fish, but walruses, whales, etc., not always a happy place, although I see flamingos. We made it in after what I thought might have been a brief incident, but they just asked me to put my drone bag in the car because I brought the drone. Have no intention of flying it, but I can understand their concern. It's actually very, very quiet here. See the dolphin?
Oh, he has a ball. He plays with the ball, Papa. Look how cute.
Let's go upstairs and
That's
see them.
dolphins.
Here they have a purple lobster, some standard displays with animals that some people might not think are equally higher order to dolphins that are put in a big empty fish tank and given a soccer ball to play with. Okay. This is a manatee in a fish tank that's barely 3 body lengths. There's another one right here. Wow. This doesn't make sense.
In order to monitor naive and high-risk manatees, a buoy tracking device is fitted before release. The information transmitted allows biologists to follow the migration and diet patterns of individual animals for up to several months after their reintroduction.
I'm gonna go to wide angle just so you can get a feel for the actual full size of this tank. This is their tank. How old are these guys?
So the one underneath, he's about 20 years old, and then the one up on top is about 65.
65 years old.
Yeah.
How long have they been here for?
He's been here since 1958. 1958.
1958.
Yeah.
In this size tank?
I believe so.
Manatees belong to the order Sirenia, which comes from the Greek mythological creatures known as sirens. These partially human, female creatures, better known today as mermaids, were said to have lured ships onto rocks with their mesmerizing song.
I mean, that's possibly one of the worst things I've ever seen in any zoo. One manatee has been here since 1958. Got hair mouth. And it seems that that's it. That's their existence. Those 2 soup bowls, and there's a little door that they can go from one to the next.
What if they get too fat?
That's
What if they get too big
That's okay. That's so bad that even my kid said those animals look miserable. That's incomprehensible. If I'm not mistaken, that I think is the stadium where Lolita is being kept, totally not open to public access, and it looks like, as Phil Demers said, a building worthy of being condemned, and in there is Lolita, an orca, alone, sitting in a bowl that's not much bigger than what those manatees were stewing in. I don't know if it's bad timing or bad time of day or bad time of season, but it is ridiculously quiet here, which is kind of inspiring because this is the most depressing zoo I've ever been to. This is the most depressing aquarium, Seaquarium I've ever been to. The manatee enclosure, I would say it's inhumane, but they're not humans, although they're probably on par in terms of level of intelligence, emotional intelligence, sensitivity. It's unconscionably small. I've been to one zoo where I said it was the most depressing thing I'd ever seen. I think it was the Bronx Zoo. The Miami Seaquarium is right up there now. And we don't even get to see where the orca is behind that stadium that's sectioned off from the public. Awful. This is the dolphin stadium where you come to see dolphin shows and like a sick sort of torture. You go up here and that's, where they're supposed to live. Instead, they're in that. This is the map of the whole area, and it's deceptive in that it makes this entire area look a lot bigger. That's the sea lion
right
there. And the manatee exhibit, which looks really big on this, is right there. And you've seen what the manatee exhibit looks like. So
wait, where's manatee exhibit?
Right over there. So that map makes things look a lot bigger than they are. There's nobody here, but at least we got a beautiful view of downtown Miami. Most depressing aquarium, zoo, whatever you want to call this, I've ever seen, hands down, full stop, without exception. The enclosures for the manatee, for the seals, sea lion, for the dolphins. And behind us there, in that stadium, is where Lolita, the orca, is just sitting, stewing in a big bowl of warm ocean soup water like those manatees that we saw. We're out back to Phil and his gang, and we'll see if they've had any progress today. Okay, we're out. Hey, they got people there.
Don't give them your money. It's supporting starvation of animals. Captivity is cruel. There is no beauty in stolen freedom. These animals don't deserve to be exploited for human entertainment.
Just so everybody understands, Phil Demers is the one who said I should go in there and see it for myself. It doesn't even generate human entertainment. That's the irony. Humans, I don't even think, get any pleasure out of seeing animals in those enclosures. I don't understand why they have them there.
What would be required in releasing a manatee? It needs lettuce
grass.
and water.
It needs grass.
That's it.
Nope.
Dude, I know that when you were going to see that, it was going to gut you because I was shocked when I saw it. But the good news is, not a lot of people come in here. I'm actually astounded
It's
at how dead it is.
empty.
Shocked. Because when I'd come here months ago,
This is the parking lot.
So, what exactly happened? Like, why is he there?
Well, I don't know because I don't know the details.
His job is just to go to serve.
Yeah, because I don't serve it and I don't, I don't read it and I don't have anything to do with the case.
Bumped him very aggressive. We told him, Phil, we told him that wasn't him. And
No, I
you did
totally
aggressive.
understand.
And you're trying to
But
serve
this is the
somebody.
reason,
You're
because
trying
the-
to serve somebody.
Because the
You gotta,
lady
if
here
you
told
want
me
respect,
that.
you gotta give respect. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
But
I'm sorry. Do I look like this guy, bro?
We are out of here, heading back now, and there was some drama right at the end. Actually, after I had just talked to Phil and he had taken off, a process server, like a bailiff, showed up with papers and was attempting to serve papers on Phil. And there was a guy there who, coincidentally enough, looked a little bit like Phil. And the process server thought he had got him and said, "You've been served." And he's like, "Dude, who are you trying to serve?" It's like Phil Demers or Phil Demers. He's like, "I'm not Phil." He showed him his ID and he's like, "Okay, not." But as a trained lawyer, although I'm not practicing anymore, I know what a process server is. I knew exactly what was going on. He had papers in his hands. He was looking at a picture of Phil. The picture of Phil was Phil Damaris with the free Lolita on his, painted on his face in black. And then there was a little bit of a kerfuffle, but Phil had already gone, fortuitously enough, and this process server, I guess, is now going to have to try to find Phil somewhere in order to serve him with papers of a lawsuit filed by somebody against Phil. We don't know what, we don't know why, but you'll probably find out soon. That is the official end of it. We're out of here. I could say that we've been here twice, our first and our last time, unless there's another protest off the property of the Miami Seaquarium, but shocking and shockingly small enclosures, shockingly small, actually everything. And there is no reason for this stuff anymore. But the shark display was nice. They had some seahorses, but those manatees, the orca, the dolphins in enclosures that are unconscionably small. It's not the way any animal, higher order, intelligent animal should be treated. So that's it. You've seen it. Now we're really done. Peace.